What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Devil's Details Diecast Custom Build Series. And this build is the Matchbox 1935 Ford delivery truck for the 4 Horsemen. I believe this is the first 4 Horsemen build I've done of 2021. And we are tasked with making this I guess a delivery truck, even though it is a delivery truck. Right now it is a rat rod delivery truck. And I have some plans here, of course, that I'm not going to reveal. There we go with the turntable again. Right out of the bat here. I kind of like the truck already as it sits, but our task, of course, is to make it something different, or else there wouldn't be a build. So I have some ideas floating around here. I think I'm going to de-rat rod this ride, which pains me to do so, but again, it's our task to make it something different. So we'll see. I don't know. I've looked up a few pictures online of this 35 Ford. Saw some really cool modifications done to it, and I'm going to take some ideas from all separate areas. So our first step obviously is to get it disassembled and into the stripper, and that's what I'm going to do, and we will check in after that. So stick around and enjoy the build. Okay, so here's our status on the delivery truck. What I've done here is basically chopped up a bone shaker interior and engine, kind of going against what I said in the beginning of de-rat rodding. That's why I never like to say in the beginning of these videos what I plan to do, because that always changes, and I film these as I go and then make a final video, so a lot can change from beginning to end, because sometimes I don't work on these for weeks at a time. So it's amazing how close a casting this is to the bone shaker. I almost wonder if Matchbox and Hot Wheels had a little conversation at some point, because they integrate very well. I know Keith at Outlaw Speed Shop had done a version of this on his channel a while back, putting these two castings together. Right now everything is obviously just kind of pieced together, so it's not in its best stance, but we'll get it there. Everything rolls. Got the treaded tires in the back and slicks in the front. This piece here will get inserted for the headlights. Won't stay in place right now. I gotta glue it, but obviously that'll be towards the end when I get the paint added. I am gonna add a wooden bed to the back, and then just a paint job. So I think I'm going to go with an olive green, and I'm going to do a hand paint on this one. So I'm going to give it a quick primer and then just an olive green hand paint. I haven't decided what type of delivery truck this is going to be. I'm just going to kind of go through my decals and see what I have available and adapt it to that, since I don't really have an idea in mind. Just gonna see if I have any speed shop decals, or I was thinking maybe like an army truck delivery for like an army base, but then again I thought it was a little too tricked out for that type of thing. So I don't know, we'll see what we have, and we'll adapt it to whatever we have. So stick around for that. I'm gonna go ahead and get this into the primer, and we'll go from there. So we're working on the wooden bed for the truck, and there's a few different ways to do it. Some people choose to do individual pieces, but what I like to do is just grab, and I think is the simplest way, is just grab a piece of balsa wood, or I think this is basswood actually. This is a little bit thinner, and just cut a piece. This is still a little bit tacky, so I don't want to mess with it too much. Just cut a piece to fit the back, and then all you need to do is grab your X-Acto knife and just make some lines in the back. They don't have to be perfect at this scale. You're not really going to see too much. And then just paint your colors. I am just going to use some watered down brown paint. I actually have a dark stain, acrylic stain, I think, somewhere on my shelf here I may use, if I can find it. Here it is. It's like a walnut stain. And I'm just going to stain that and give it a little bit of a sanding, and then just glue it in the back there. So much easier than trying to cut all little individual pieces. Again, just use your X-Acto and make some lines. Make sure they're deep enough, you know, to get some. I did make one cut a little bit too deep. Sorry for the focus. Which is fine, but just make sure they're deep enough that they will get some of the color inside there, and you know, to get that depth. And there you go. So kind of an easy way to make a wooden bed. That's the way the paint job came out. Not too bad for a brush paint. I like doing brush paints on these type of builds because they don't have to be beautiful, and I think they still give a great look. And I'm also going to spray this with dull coat, so that'll even out some of the brush strokes that may be visible as well. So stick around and we'll have our reveal. And if you remember, this is what we started with. A 1935 Ford Matchbox rat rod truck. Some Kingston Pop tampos on it. Really love how this casting is, you know, aside from the plastic exhaust and everything like that, which obviously could be changed with a quick swipe of a Molotow pen. And this is what we came up with. And here we have it, folks. The 35 Ford delivery truck in a Harley-Davidson theme. I had a hard time finding already printed decals here in the shop that worked well, so I ended up weathering it a little more than I wanted to, but I figured, why not? It's a rat rod truck and a delivery truck for parts, so it would have some wear and tear on it. I didn't go heavy on the rust or anything like that, just more kind of grease and grime and a little bit weathered door decals. I did have to paint a little bit under the door, on the door, to get the Harley-Davidson to show through, as they were clear decals. But in any event, really happy with how this turned out. It does roll, even though it's very low to the ground. Went with an olive green hand paint, as I showed you earlier. There's the wooden bed there, nice and weathered and chipped up. A couple of 3D printed parts thrown in the back there. Bone shaker engine, a little bit of aluminum on it. Those are the wheels from the muscle machines. Got a little detail in the back there on the brake lights. And that's about it. I'd like to thank the Four Horsemen for putting on these builds. Again, I think this is the first one I've done this year for them, and I had a lot of fun with it. Glad I was able to finish it in time for the deadline, and I look forward to doing more in the future. Stick around for some glamour shots. Until the next one, be well.
Ha 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 ha!